Hello, everyone, and welcome to another HRL recap. We're good. We're live. Just making sure the first time I tried recording this, I didn't plug in my mic. It's like almost 1 a.m., and I just on a whim was like, oh, I can do the recap right now. So might be a little chalked. We'll see. But I'm going to try my best. So last recap, that was a while ago, around like Tier S time. It's been a couple weeks now. Thought it was a good time to get another recap in, especially because we're going into a new month. Let's go over here and take a look at our, well, we can take a look at these too. So 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna take a look at the results, get caught up here. So we had the Hog H5 GP, the first of our like remakes type races with the Hogs, and this one was on the remake of Mount Guerco. So Roman hooked up a remake of the track for the Hogs, and through a bit of testing, we ended up with this version, and it ended up being a pretty spicy race, especially you could see in that second one with many penalties being thrown out. It's got to be the most penalized race of the season. I'm almost surprised the first moto only has one doled out compared to the freaking 5, and then multiple for some people. And man, it's crazy in the second moto. But yeah, so as you could tell just from that, it was an absolute cheese fest. I ended up taking the win in the first moto. Slaunch taking second for that one. Roman rounding out the podium. And then in the second race, Detail made a move with, I don't know, like 3, maybe like 5 laps to go, something like that. Took the lead there after, I want to say like Elite Vulcan. I feel like it was Elite and Vulcan mostly, but a few drivers were kind of, just holding off for a long time. Detail made that move, didn't look back, got the win. Slaunch ended up getting second with a lot of with some penalty help. there was a lot of penalties thrown out here. And after all those penalties, Vulcan wound up with the podium on that one. So overall, Slaunch ends up taking the no win overall. Someone's got to do it. Did anybody else do that this season yet? Oh yeah, right. Elite did in the very first week. Lamau. Should have thought before I talked. But yeah, Elite did that in the first week, and now Slaunch here. And interestingly enough, both Hog weeks. And I do notice that I've brought that up before too. How I feel like the no win overall happens a lot more in the Hogs as opposed to the Gooses. I feel like in the Gooses is really rare. But Slaunch does it here, second person to do that this season, and a huge win for him. Takes his 3rd overall win, which is crazy. The moto wins. It's been a lot of detail on myself, but the overall wins, can't argue with it. I mean, Slaunch is at 3 already. That's pretty crazy. So he takes that one here. Second place overall, and with 30 points is Detail takes second place overall with 28. And then myself and Roman, 27 points apiece for 3rd, 4th. And then Hunter with 25 points for 5th place overall. Vulcan, 6th with 24. Soul, yeah, Vulcan just showing up this week, by the way. I'm surprised he didn't show up for the next week. With it being Supercross action, but showed up for this one. 24 points, 6th place. Soul, 7th place with 21. Elite 8th with 20. Armada 9th with 16. Opix 10th with 14. Camby 11th with 12. Coop 12th with 10. Nightmare 13th with 4. Okay, so now we move on to the H4 Supercross week, and we see only a couple penalties, only 1 per moto here, so like to see that. Definitely cleaned up on the penalties a bit here. For this one, so that's nice to see. Wait, what the hell? What? Wait, what? What? What the fuck? How? Huh? What? What happened to the dock? Was it always like that? Hold on. I'm not cutting that out. Mid recap adjustment. What the fuck? It has the correct results here, right? Yeah, what the hell? Okay, hold on. Let me figure out what in the world happened here. Well, this is real deal. I don't know why the names got cheesed. I don't know why it's Hunter everywhere. What happened? Did I do something? Oh no. Live cheese and live editing coming right at you. This is super professional in the recap. That was a legit reaction. I don't know what the hell. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened. If it was, I don't know. I'm super confused right now. Yeah, I don't know what is going on here. Was Hunter 5th? No, that definitely was not Hunter. 9-6 was Hunter. So 5th, that would be... that would be... Right, Roman. Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe it just wasn't edited yet, but it definitely was. That's very odd. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. I can't believe that. I hope I didn't do anything, but if I did, we're good now. All right, so cheese that. That was kind of funny. I genuinely was not ready for that, but here we go. H4SX week. Recapping this. Detail cooked up some tracks for this one. Centennial Park and Salt Lake. Centennial Park is pretty sweet, but Salt Lake, I mean, obviously I'm biased. Was really hyped to see that one. Was looking forward to, racing that one since I saw it. And really cool that we got like a goose on a different game, H5 remake in the schedule as well with all the hog ones and that idea in the schedule. Cool idea to do the same thing, but for the gooses at a point here in the schedule too. So that was really cool. So yeah, cooked up this week and also cooked in the races. Just dominant performance, won the heat. If he wasn't at the whole shot, was close to it in both the races. Led probably all the laps. Took both the moto wins, swept the night. So second sweep on the season, although this one was a lot more dominant. I mean, we remember that Reach GP one was crazy. That was a crazy night, and it was super close. But he did end up getting the sweep. This one, he ends up getting the sweep, but not close at all. I mean, just clearing away, running away with it. Just the best driver on the night for sure. Takes both moto wins. For the first moto for Centennial Park, Real Deal took second. I took third. And then on track, Real Deal second, myself third. But that got switched to myself second, Real Deal third. Real Deal got a penalty for a wreck on Armada. And Coop got a penalty as well for a wreck on Hunter in the Centennial Park moto. So those are the only two penalties that were handed out. One of them was kind of big, although Real Deal still got to keep his overall position. And regardless of whether it moved or not, he would have been top 3. He would have got his wild card point. And he's probably not competing in points anyways. So he ended up with getting his podium in the race, his podium in the overall, his wild card. He ended up with getting the things that were important for him, even though he got penalized. So I'm sure he can't be too upset with it. Because yeah, he's not going to be competing in points. I mean, he's making some points, so maybe that's not, maybe it's too soon to say that, but he's super far behind on motos. He's probably going to be going for that wild card spot. That's what matters to him. We'll get to that in a moment. And this night was really good for him in that regard for the wild card points. He picked up another one. But yeah, same top 3, just slightly different order in the races. Detail, of course, taking the overall win with 34 points. Real Deal taking second with 29. Myself third with 29. Slaunch fourth with 26. Roman fifth with 24. Opix sixth, another solid Opix performance in the Supercross night. 21 points for him. Seventh for Hunter. 19. Camby 8th, 19 as well. 9th Soul was 16. 10th Turkey, 15. 11th Armada with 12. 12th Coop with 5. Oh yeah, Coop skipping out in the second race too. He had to go, so it didn't help him out there. Okay, so let's take a look at the points. All right, so taking a look at the points here. Very spicy for the points lead. The points battle, for first place is definitely on. Luke and Detail are neck and neck. So yeah, that's pretty hype. I haven't been referring to myself in the third person this VOD, and I just did. That's kind of weird. Myself and Detail. Neck and neck, 3 points. Super close for the lead now. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. At this point in the season, pretty cool to see that we're hitting that, halfway point in the season and that it's damn near a tie. Like, that's really cool. And, hopefully it keeps going that way all the way to the end. Hopefully it stays really close. We'll obviously keep our eyes on that. And, also those wins tying us up at 6 apiece for leading the moto win count as well. Soul, holding on to that third place, man. Holding on to that third place in points, 193. Slaunch is getting really close, and Slaunch with Mulligan's Slaunch for sure has like the in effect third place in points, but Soul is still holding on to it, and I'm sure he's going to try to hold on to it as long as he can. Yeah, Slaunch putting in a good season, man, and another like solid night for him. Hogwerko was obviously great. This one wasn't as great, but he had to deal with a lot of cheese, and I think he had a pretty good performance considering he had to change his whole setup and race with that. I think he did pretty damn good. Considering that. And yeah, I mean, the leader in the overall wins right now. And with missing a whole night too, with missing a whole round, like that's crazy. So you got to give him credit for that. And we'll have to see once Mulligans come into play, like how close is he to that lead? Could it end up being a 3-way champ battle? We'll have to wait and see. Opix still fighting for that top 6, 171 points. Opix or Hunter very close behind him with just 6 points off of Opix with 165. They are fighting for it, man. These two are trying to fight their way into those top 6 spots, which they probably need to do. Like looking at their wildcard point situation compared to some of these drivers, they need to either pick up some wildcard points or keep fighting their asses off to stay in that top 6 if they want to make the grand finals. That'll be really interesting to watch. Roman is also in there, and you know he missed a whole night, so I think Roman's going to be in there. I think he's going to bump his way into that unless something crazy happens or he misses a lot more races. But we have to keep our eyes on Roman. And you take a look, his points per moto, it's looking better than Hunter and Opix. So yeah, you got to think he's going to take one of those spots. So, you know, Roman takes one of those spots, but will any of these other drivers take one of those spots? I'm not really sure. I think it's just Roman. So that means Opix and Hunter might be like a 1v1 to get that 6th place spot if they keep up what they're doing. So that's going to be fun to watch. Camby and Armada, they're really close with each other. But they're going to need some wildcard point help, and luckily for Armada, he already has one on the board, so he's got that to work with. Real Deal, you know, same type of situation. He's got, for 8 motos, he's got a very good spot in the point standings, I gotta say. He's put on some good points for the nights that he has shown up for, but he's not really competing in points. So the wildcard points are what's important to him, and he picked up another one tonight, so now he has the clear lead of these drivers outside of the top 6 in the wildcard points. He's got 3. The next closest behind him was Elite with 2. And funnily enough, they're all around each other. Elite with 2, and then Armada's got the 1. So Real Deal's got a significant advantage there. And he's going to, you know, whenever he shows up, he's going to try to press that advantage and see if he can get even more. Because, again, I'm sure he knows that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to wildcard point his way into the grand final. And so far, he's doing a good job of that. Elite as well. But Elite... Only 2, and Armada's only 1 off. And again, Hunter or Opix, like let's say it's Hunter that drops out. Hunter is already at 1. If it's him that drops out, like this is not safe. Like Real Deal definitely is not like a huge cushion, but he has more of a cushion. Elite's cushion with the wild card spot right now is not safe at all. And there's some wild card-ish nights coming in the schedule too. Like this Barvo that we're coming into could be crazy. Who the hell knows what to expect from this H3 terrain? The Woo night. Like, there's a lot of potential, there's a lot of upset potential where things like that could shake up. So, I think Real Deal's got a good, it's not super safe, but I think Real Deal's got a good cushion. I think Elite, though, even though it's just 1 less point or 1 fewer point, I think that makes a big difference. And I think Elite will, I think Elite's not going to be safe. I think he's going to probably have to pick up at least 1 more to make it in off the wildcard points. So in my prediction, I don't think he'll be good to just coast off of Hogtona. I think he's going to have to do another good performance. We'll see. I mean, that's just my prediction. But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, Elite, 11th with 96. And then Soar, 12th with 84. Coop, 13th with 74. Fireball, 14th with 63. He's another driver that if he shows up to some more nights, he's going to have to, like, I could see him being a driver that could do it, but he's going to have to put on some good performances and earn some wildcard points. That's what he's going to have to do. Nightmare with 56, 15th. Matt, 16th, 35. Turkey, 17th, 33. Vulcan, 18th, 24. Silver 19th with 16. So there you go. There's your run of the point standings. And again, the interesting things to watch. The points lead battle is pretty freaking sweet. Excuse me. Felt that one coming. Yeah, halfway through. I hope it continues. Does Slaunch enter into that, or does he end up in a no man's land 3rd place spot? We'll have to wait and see. Soul kind of seems like he has 4th on lockdown. We'll see how that evolves, but right now that's what it's looking like. Opix and Hunter, that's one you're gonna want to watch out for, because again, I think Roman will probably bump one of them out. So Opix and Hunter might be like a 1v1 battle for that last top 6 spot. And that's going to be really fun to watch. Can somebody like Camby put on a hot second half of the season? Can somebody like Armada put on a hot second half of the season? Could they work their way into that conversation for getting those points? Or Armada's case, can he get a couple, you know, some good like upset races, like an upset win, get another wildcard point, make that thing interesting with Elite? All he needs is 1 wildcard point. He'll tie Elite, and then he's already ahead of him in points. So that could make things very interesting there. Real deal. You know, how many more races is he going to show up to? How many wrenches is he going to throw into those races? He has gotten a couple overall podiums in the few that he showed up to. He got a win in TRS. That made a big difference. And he's going for those wildcard points, so he's going to be going for wins, going for stuff like that when he does show up. How does that play into the races? Elite, can he hold on with his 2 wildcard points? Those are a lot of the things that I think that you should keep an eye out for looking at the points right now. A lot of interesting stuff going down. Okay, closing out the recap here soon. I want to give a preview of April. So as you can see here, that's our look of the season. Again, 14 weeks on the season. And we just did our 7th week and our 17th moto, and there's 35 motos total. So yeah, we're like basically exact halfway point. Pretty cool. So we're crossing that point past halfway this week with Hogvo, I don't know. The Barvo track. So this is the oval H5 oval remake on the Hogs. So we had the GP one with Guerco a couple weeks ago. Now we're going into the oval one with Barvo. Looks pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I think this will be a cheesy night. I think this could be, you know, a wild card-ish night potentially, where somebody could make a play for those wild card points and really mix things up. If there's a night to do it, I think this night and the Woo night are the 2 that you should have circled on the calendar. These 2 specifically, I would say the Barvo one, at least for the overall podium and win, would be easier because it's just 2 motos instead of 4. The Woo one, you're just hoping to get a moto win probably. But I guess that's 2 different ways to look at it, right? The Woo race, the Woo night, you have more opportunities to get a moto win, get the wild card point that way. Barvo should be easier to do it off the overall. So 2 different things to look at. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes because again, I think this night has the potential to be one that could mix things up like that. And yeah, that type of scenario will be fun to watch. And I think the track is looking cool. After that, we have the Firehawk week. I'll fill in the tracks for these soon. This is going to be a classic track filled event with multiple different ones. We'll get multiple different looks at classic Firehawk tracks. That'll be really fun. H3 terrain, still figuring out what we're doing with that one. And then capping off April with Outlands, the Hoglands. So that'll be the SX remake, H5 remake there. So getting the Oval and the SX one, starting it off the month of April with the Oval one, ending it off with the SX one. So that'll be fun too. And the previews that Slaunch has posted have looked really freaking cool. So looking forward to that. So there you go. There's your lay of the land. There's your update for your recap. Before I go, Protocol Cheese finale is coming soon. The reason it hasn't come out yet is because I'm working on tracks and I'm working on shit that we're actually going to test and do. I want to, you know, that's the priority. And then the Protocol Cheese video is second priority. But I do want to say, I thought about doing it last week. It didn't work out. This week, I'm really going to try to do, pretty confident that we'll be able to do, unless something gets cheesed. I'll post in the Discord if it does, if something comes up. Gonna try to do the infinite test. Gonna try to do the infinite test hour and a half-ish before the event, before the, you know, normal Barvo Hog event. And I'm working on shit right now. I finished a go-kart I've been working on for a while the other day. I finished up a quick oval to test out that. I finished up a TRS to test out that. And I am currently working on a Razorback GP track. I'm going to try to do a Razorback oval as well. And we've got plenty of SXs that are already made to test out. So that's, I know I just listed off a bunch of shit, but I've been cooking up some shit to try to test as many like track types as possible. So I'm going to try to come up with like a schedule for the test night too. So that again, we try to get as many different track types, racing types as possible tested in that one night with the new network, and just see what's up. You know, figure out how it's working. So really looking forward to that. If you have the time before the race, you know, definitely check it out, or I'll try to stream it as well. And you know, in case you can't race it, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope it goes well. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that to look forward to. Just to know that that's actually should be coming this week again. If something comes up, I'll post it, but I'm feeling pretty good about it right now. So after that, the Protocol Cheese episode will come out. I'll probably, because it's so close to it, I'll probably wait for that test, wait for the results of that, and then Protocol Cheese the week after. So That's the idea. So that's going to do it. 20 minutes, that's pretty good for me on these. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. And yeah, so going into Barvo Hog, Detail on a hot streak, 3 moto wins in a row, longest moto win streak of the season. Can he continue it into Barvo Hog? That would be pretty tippable. It's going to be hard to do on this track, but that'd be pretty impressive. Can he continue it? Somebody else going to come into the fray? Somebody else going to try to go for like one of those wildcard points, get one of those upset moto wins? Is Slaunch going to be back on top? You know, he had that really good set of 2 weeks along with this overall here. Does he come back into the moto win territory? Does somebody like Roman or maybe like an Opix do it? I don't know. Who the hell knows? Honestly, on this track, who the hell knows? Definitely a race you will not want to miss because of the potential for all types of chaos on it. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. See you for Barvo Hog.